you have the Central Bureau of Statistics. How do you call it? GBOS, sorry. You have GBOS here. They are the ones who are in charge of collecting demographic data, whether it's occupation, education, what have you, marital status. So I think since this ECRVS is going to be used to generate vital statistics by GBOS, it's important for us to use the same variables. So if you take, for example, the DHIS, the Gambia Demographic and Health Survey, they have some standard variables that they use, categories that they use. So perhaps you want to talk to WCC to give them the DHIS to use the same variables. This is not just for the health sector, it's for all sectors across the country. So let's try to change those variables that we have there so it conforms to GBOS.
Are there any difference between the private hospital and state hospital? How do you implement the birth situation when the child is giving birth at the private sector?
We don't have, except few of the private that where our officials are posted, where we have control over and then we can give directives. But private facilities are also given opportunity. They can come to public facility for the registrations.
All these actors in the birth registration, notification, and what? Most of these institutions are under one ministry, Ministry of Health. So Ministry of Health, they don't collaborate with it. When the top said this must happen, it's easy. So these are some of the ingredients that put Gambia also in a very fertile position to achieve some of these things. So I just want to add some of these things so that you understand the context.
We can only congratulate you and about these achievements, but I want just to understand and know what is the behavior of the population. How are you informing the population? And also, we African, we get used to a certain way of doing things. So how do they see this technology? Are they comfortable? And what is their reaction when they see all these changes? Thank you.
Thank you very much. This we have laid foundation for orientation. When we are introducing electronic civil registration in the Gambia, we have massive communication strategy that we put in place, advocacy. The government spent a lot of money together with the support of World Bank. And even our broadcasting, we were using synchronized broadcasting in the aspect that all the television and radio stations in the Gambia, at the time of our campaign, we were using that one message for all radio stations. And all the same, we involved all the communities. We also involved our community structures in place. We don't only use radio and television, but we went on the ground to sensitize local leaders and other influential people, and also the communities, so that they know the value of this one. Why are we changing and why do we want to give them? So that the right of the child, right to access to health, access to education, and other social benefits are all embedded in this message that we give them as a package. To say that your child, when you want to go to the school, you need the birth certificate. When you're traveling outside the Gambia, we give them importance of this birth certificate. And some of them who have been exposed on the late registration will able to identify, like if they submit their birth certificate to the authorities other than the Gambia, they query them, why will you sit until the age of 30 and you'll be registered? Those are the queries we give them to say that if you timely register your child, in the near future, they will not run into such problems. And they will all have a legal documentation. So when you need a document, you can easily find it. So we will inform them duly. And then we have a health promotion directorate within our ministry that is also due advocacy. At the regional level, we even have regional programs officers who are also sensitizing.
Let me say thank you, grateful to Dr. Sham that allow us and the team to have the study visit and also have a lesson learned from the hospital today.
ก็ถือว่านับแต่พวกข้าพเจ้าลงเงินมาก็เห็นว่าประเทศกัมพูชาก็เป็นประเทศหนึ่งที่สวยสดงดงามและมีวัฒนธรรมที่เป็นเอกลักษณ์เฉพาะของตนเอง
Since when I arrived the Gambia, I saw that the Gambia is a very beautiful country and have the very specific characteristic and very beautiful country, special country.
โดยเฉพาะมันมีทะเลหาดทรายที่สวยงามซึ่งบอนพวกข้าพเจ้าพักก็ถือว่าอยู่ใกล้แคมป์ทะเล
Especially the very wonderful and beautiful beach that especially when we stay in the very graceful hotel, beautiful one that is located along the beach.
ส่วนมาจุดประสงค์ของการมาพบปะเยี่ยมยามหรือว่ามาทัศนศึกษาครั้งนี้ทั้งดร.แซมก็ได้กล่าวไปแล้วสันข้าพเจ้าก็สิบ่ย้ำตื่มเนาะแต่ว่าถึงอย่างไรก็ตามในการนำไส้หรือว่าในการสปป.ลาวของพวกเขาปฏิบัติกฎหมายหรือว่าแผนยุทธศาสตร์แห่งชาติก็คือบรรดาคำหมายมันต่างๆที่สปป.ลาวได้มีต่อสากลโดยเฉพาะในภาคพื้นอาเซียนแปซิฟิกซึ่งเอาปี 2015 หา2ปี 2024 เป็นทศวรรษแห่งการจดทะเบียนสถิติพลเมืองเนาะซึ่งเพื่อปฏิบัติตามเวียกงานดังกล่าวสปป.ลาวของพวกเขาก็ได้มีการวางยุทธศาสตร์และก็ได้มีการวางวิสัยทัศน์ของตนเองโดยเฉพาะมันเฮ็ดแนวใดเพื่อให้พลเมืองลาวทุกคนได้รับการปกป้องทางด้านกฎหมายคือและได้เข้าถึงการศึกษาและประชากรก็ถือว่ามีอายุที่เกินกว่า73 ปีขึ้นไป
Yes. For the objective, I think Dr. Sam have already mentioned, so I will not repeat it. Ideally, so we will also participate, describe or explain about the priority of the government in order to implement the strategy of 2015-2024 on civil registration and vital statistic strategy implementation in order to ensure that all the child will reach to get the rights to the humanities, to the education and health care in order to ensure that the life expectancy will be above 60 or 70 years. 73 years old in the objective of the strategy of the government.
The family registration law also has responsibilities for several ministries. So you have the Ministry of Home Affairs, that's the anchor ministry. They are the ones who do the births and deaths, marriage, divorce. And then you have the Ministry of Public Security. They are also here. They do the ID as well. The system is supposed to be interoperable. You have the Ministry of Justice that does adoption and several other ministries. It just so happens that in the family registration law, Ministry of Health has no role in the law, but in the implementation, Ministry of Health does the birth notification. So fast forward this morning, when we went to the Bundung Hospital, we were able to see how the deliveries that were done overnight. They looked at a baby that was born at 5:40 a.m. this morning. The midwife did the birth notification live in the system.
And we want to work harder to make sure everybody is registered. And looking at even the human rights aspect, everybody should be registered. And if the law also says everybody should also be enrolled in the national health insurance, that means it is our responsibility to register everybody for the national health insurance. because the National Health Insurance Act, which is already there in existence, that's what it says, that everybody, every Gambian and everyone living in Gambia should be registered, should be enrolled. So we are really happy that we're working together with partners like yourselves, and our team should also learn from you. You have done quite a lot, so we request that you share experience with them, and then you ask as many questions as possible. We should use this opportunity to forge stronger relations between our two countries. And I'm going to escalate this meeting. I'm going to tell the Vice President and the President that we got you here in town, and I'm sure he'll be very happy that people are also willing to partner and share experiences with the Gambia. So we believe this is a good thing for our people, but at a personal level and at personal levels, I think it's also a legacy issue for all of us. Because it's very important when we become old men and women, we could look back and say we contributed and participated in the establishment of this in our countries. So we need to do it very well.
เพราะว่าตามประเพณีแล้วเราแบบเวลาเกิดลูกแล้วเขาเอิ้นว่าอยู่กรรมเป็นประเพณีหลังจากอยู่กรรมแล้วเอิ้นว่าพิธีทางศาสนาคือก็จะว่าแล้วจึงใส่ซื้อให้ลูกเวลานั้นจึงสิได้สิได้
Normally when the women giving birth, they will have to stay for some of the doing some activity for the traditional before they can set up or define the name for the child.
ภายหลังเขาจะตั้งปฏิบัติกฎหมายกับสุขยูให้ประชาชนได้ตั้งชื่อของลูกตนเองก่อนถือว่าเดี๋ยวนี้ครอบครัวสมัยใหม่ดีถือว่ามีลูกมีชื่อลูกก่อนแล้วบางเทื่อบางครอบครัวเวลาเกิดแล้วก็สามารถแจ้งเกิดเอาชื่อใส่เลย
But now at the moment, after we implemented the law on family registration, so we encourage people to hold a family to have the name defined. Some family will have the name defined before they are giving birth, so that when they are giving the child, they can put the name on the birth notification.
Good. So do they say, if it's a boy, this is the name, if it's a girl, this is the name, or they get sex determined before the birth? You do have a sex determination before the birth. All right.
แม่ที่ถือพาจะได้เข้าถึงการบริการสาธารณสุขตัวอย่างกวดสุขภาพกวดคันกวดท้องนี่แหละว่าลูกแข็งแรงบ่แข็งแรงบ่สันส่วนหลายก็สิรู้ว่าลูกเป็นประเภทหนึ่งประเภทสาย
Normally when we do the pregnancy, the mother will have some ultrasound so that they will know the gender of the baby, so that they can set up for the name and clothing based on the gender.
That's good. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much, Sam and Doctor. Yes, thank you. Yes. So, well, we can ask any question. We can have a chat. Feel free to.
คิดว่ามื้ออื่นจะสิเป็นโอกาสดีได้แลกเปลี่ยนบทเรียนเรื่องต่างๆเพราะว่ามื้ออื่นทางสังคมมาลีก็สิได้นำเสนอเกี่ยวกับบทเรียนของเราแล้วพวกเขาก็สิได้เรียนรู้บทเรียนของทางประเทศแกมเบียตื่นก็คิดว่ามื้ออื่นหลายท่านก็สิมีหลายข้อของใจที่จะสนทนาแลกเปลี่ยนกัน
I hope that tomorrow will be even more very meaningful because we will have the presentation from both countries so that we can exchange, have any question to clarify with each other so that we can learn from each other more on tomorrow's session.
Beautiful, beautiful. We look forward to that. Yeah. Great. Good.
We also want to welcome the delegation from Laos Democratic Republic for choosing the Gambia to come and understudy our integration system. The Gambia ICT Agency is established by an act of the National Assembly to lead and take charge of the implementation of ICT systems and projects in government. And that's the reason why we are coordinating all these processes, because they have some ICT components. And that's why we are hosting you in our premises today.
นอกจากนั้นแล้วถือว่ามื้อนี้พวกเราจะได้รับชมการเสื่อมข้อมูลของบรรดาทานและพวกข้าพเจ้าก็ยินดีที่จะนำเสนอเกี่ยวกับโดยเฉพาะแม่นทั้งหัวหน้ากรมคุ้มครองพลเมืองจะเป็นผู้นำเสนอเกี่ยวกับบทเรียนในการสร้างนิติกรรมเนาะโดยเฉพาะแม่นกฎหมายซึ่งพวกข้าพเจ้าในการจัดตั้งปฏิบัติเวียกงานของการจดทะเบียนและสิทธิพลเมืองนี้พวกเขาได้มีการแบ่งขั้นคุ้มครองกันเนาะระหว่างขั้นส่วนกลางและท้องถิ่นโดยเฉพาะแม่นขั้นส่วนกลางก็จะเป็นผู้คุ้มครองมหาภาคขั้นท้องถิ่นก็จะเป็นผู้ดำเนินการจดทะเบียนโดยกงเนาะซันอยู่ในนี้ก็คิดว่าทั้งกรมที่เกี่ยวข้องก็จะได้นำบทเรียนของลาวแลกเปลี่ยนกับบรรดาทานตื่มในปัญหานี้สันท้ายสุดนี้ก็ขออวยไส้ให้พรในบรรดาทานจงมีสุขภาพเข้มแข็งมีผลสำเร็จในหน้าที่อันมีเกียรติของตนพิเศษก็ขอขอบใจนำรัฐบาลแกมเบียและทางเวิร์ลด์แบงค์ที่และภาคส่วนเกี่ยวข้องของกระทรวงภาครัฐของประเทศแกมเบียที่สร้างโอกาสให้พวกข้าพเจ้าได้มาแลกเปลี่ยนในบรรดาทานและขอขอบใจและหวังอย่างยิ่งว่ากองประชุมของพวกเขาจะสำเร็จตามจุดประสงค์และคาดหมายขอขอบใจ
Additionally, now today we are going to see the real demo on the system integration between the ECRS and EIT system in Gambia. After that, we also have the presentation from the General Director from the Department of Citizen Management, Ministry of Home Affairs from Laos. So that this is a good opportunity so that the two countries can exchange the lesson between each other and experience. In Laos, the way that we have for administration level, we are doing, we divide it into 3 levels, including the central level, province, and also the district level. While the central level will manage in macro activity, but the local level will do the real registration at the office. Finally, I wish a grateful to and thank and appreciate and thank you to the Gambia government and also the World Bank for who helped us to arrange the study visit this time. And I wish that all the plan agenda today for the meeting will gain a lot of successful after the finish of the meeting. Thank you.
Every family member is supposed to have its information recorded in the family book. When you give birth, there is a book, you have a family book that the baby's name is added to. When you move from one place to another, you have to go to the next village, and the next village would write that you have moved into this village, and they record that. If you marry, they also do the same. If you get divorced, so the family book, which is maintained by the Ministry of Public Security, when you take that book, it has all information about all the household, the families. In the Gambia, we don't have a similar family book. It is individual based. You have your birth certificate and all information is about the individual. So that's the difference between Gambia and Lao. We don't have the family book. I know that answers your question. But you recognize that in your family registration law, currently the law says that when a child is born, the child has to be issued a birth certificate. The child has to be issued a unique identification number, which you call the CSN. Now, if the public health security system, your ID system, is interoperable with the Ministry of Home Affairs system, just like Malik demonstrated, the data from ECRVS can be exported directly into the Ministry of Public Health system, the public security system. So you can see all the births registered that are done with their unique identification number goes from MOHA directly into MPS. With that information, you can use that for the family book. So you still maintain your family book, but the information that you have there is coming from the birth registration system.
So anybody who has been registered by the ECRVS people, either you have a card or if you have the birth certificate, your data will be imported. Because we have the NIN, and anybody with a birth certificate as well, your data will be imported. So if you look at it here, some of the fields that I mentioned, the NIN, last name, first name, gender or sex, date of birth, those are the foundational fields. So these other fields, marital status, they are functional. So anybody with the card or birth certificate, we just take your NIN number. We can just search it from the inquiry inquiry or in this particular field, and your name will pop up only because the NIN number is unique.
This is one of our big achievements. This is very interesting. It's a small country called Djibouti. They had a high rate of poverty. So we went over there with the World Bank, and what we did, we have registered the entire population, let's say the vulnerable population, the people in needs, the household that they don't have enough money, okay? We have registered them always based on biometrics. And today we are very proud because if you go to Djibouti, they have the map of the country and they know exactly what is the percentage of poverty by, let's say, area in the country. So as we are talking today, the government of Djibouti has a mapping of the poverty and is capable to help the families dependent on their needs. Because when we ask them the questions, okay, to put them in certain category, we know exactly, for instance, the families where there is only a woman and she has no spouse, for instance. So if the government is willing to help those families, they can go straight and they can go cybering them or aiming them individually. So it's a mapping and the category of poverty in the country and everything, as I said, it's based on biometrics because that makes the person unique. And in this situation, there are no frauds and the government is capable to help individually the people. I thank you very much.